Sometimes it's like you want to start it, and then sometimes it's like, oh, we're in the middle of it. It feels a little bit like life, right? Like sometimes you like pause and go, oh, what are all the lessons we just learned? But until you take the pause, you're just in the middle of it. So kind of like this right now. Hey guys, how are y'all? So Alicia and Matt. Alicia, tell them who you are.
Well, I'm the wife to Matt Kavanaugh.
I'm happy about that thing that she claims.
Yep, I run the Kavanaugh crew on the back end mostly. So systems, getting file closed. I would say I'm more on the silent side when it comes to things. And then, of course, mom to lots of kids.
Big time.
Lots of kids.
Yes. And like a favored mom. Like they'll do everything they can to make sure that you are who's with them. And like every morning I get to go through the pleasure of figuring out who I get picked last every time, but who has to be the one that dad takes to school because everybody wants mom to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And make their food and ask them questions and all the things, right?
Yeah, but I think that's most moms in the sense that like kids, they walk past dad to mom asking questions, and it's like, dude, can you just ask your dad to do your hair this morning? It's like the simple things. And then
seems simple, right?
Seems simple.
Yeah.
And then investor. So over the last few years, we've built up our like personal real estate portfolio. Believer, follower of Christ. Obviously, it's a huge part of what we do and the decisions we make, and then a big part of just family. So super close to my family. I've kind of bridged the gap with a lot of like our dynamics and different things. Sure. Blending a family is always it's always fun. There's definitely not a book out there that says this is how you should do it.
Right. And we've talked about that before, having our story loud enough, and maybe that's part of what this is going to be about, to just say that there is a way to do it and do it successfully. And really the reason why we're able to is because our pastors taught us a long time ago, like when there's a fight, right, between us, we don't get to settle the fight like the Word of God does. And that we'll talk about this, I'm sure, throughout these two. Like the boundaries of our lives are, as long as we're within the boundaries, we're playful, we do fun stuff, we do things, but things get hard sometimes, and you got to have something to rely on besides how you feel to help get you to the next season, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so now you get to do it.
Yeah. So I'm Matt Kavanaugh, and what we do for a living, it's not who we are, but what we do for a living is we are a mortgage team, and so we call ourselves the Kavanaugh Crew. And Alicia, I've been doing it since 2008. Love being a loan officer, love what we get to do to serve the community, and love that we get to make a living at it. But somehow tricked my wife, Alicia Kavanaugh, in 2016 to come work with me for like 10 hours a week, right? I just needed some help. And now she runs the whole team, right? So mortgage lender, I help with the team a lot. And somehow I wind up being the face of things from time to time. And it's really neat. I get to do some public speaking from time to time. And really, I would say I'm an encourager. I'm pretty thoughtful with things. Sometimes I'm described as analytical, right? I can be pretty particular. I'm the most laid back, intense person you'll ever meet, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I would say definitely dad is in there, husband's in there, entrepreneurs in there, investors in there. But I think that I've always been Matt Kavanaugh. But until I met Alicia and some things happened in my life, I didn't ever know who that was. And so now I will say the biggest thing that I am is a follower of Jesus. And I love the fact that I get to do that. And it makes me encounter my wife and my children and my business and my mom and family. And everything I do, I try to encounter through through God's eyes, through Jesus. Like, what would he want to see me doing right now? Like, I don't try to impress people, but I always want to be, I don't mean to impress, but I always want to be on the right side of, is that something Jesus would do?
Yeah, so since you're a follower of Christ, like, you do everything perfect, right?
Yeah. So, because I mess things up so often, it helps me remember, like, oh yeah, that was not Christ-like. Maybe I won't do it this time, but oh my gosh, I still every single day, all the time. Like, I don't get me wrong, I'm trying to be like that, right? That's my effort, but I am a person who definitely still, while I try to be good, I definitely mess up all the time.
Yeah, and I grew up in church with a lot of law-based teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this a lot, but there's not relationship there, right? It is really about like you messed up and your works, right? You
Mm-hmm.
earning your right to be forgiven. And I can't say like someone quite said it out loud like that, like bullet to the brain like that, but that was always like the underlying tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 years ago, we got married. Our life coaches are pouring in different teaching, right? It's faith, grace, right? And not taking advantage of grace, but being thankful for grace and being willing to say sorry, right?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't religion, this is relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think it's, I don't know, I've just, because I had to unlearn a lot of things.
Sure. Like suicide.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's the one that I knew it, you knew it. We talk to people all the time who just know
That's
if
in the
you
Bible.
commit suicide, the Bible says you're going to hell
It's not in the Bible.
until
Yeah, it
Pastor Rowe and G.
Pastor Rowe and G, we were talking about it.
Real quick, shout out to Pastor Rowe and G. Like
Yeah.
they were our coaches through. I'm sure we'll eventually get into our financial, what happened and all that stuff. But literally, could not be the Kavanaugh crew without those two human beings, and like they poured into us, like the ultimate hope dealers, right? Like they taught us how to walk the path,
Yep.
and without them, I mean,
Yeah, no, we wouldn't be married.
for
Like
sure.
they were our 2 years of counseling.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we weren't in typical counseling,
Mm-hmm.
but through the program, because they were our coaches, it was counseling. Like let's
Life-changing.
just call it
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
It was counseling.
Yeah.
There were days where it was fine, and there were days where it was not fine.
You lied at steps.
Yeah, where it got spicy, right? But gave us a lot of grace, right? But called us out when we needed to be called out. And I think that's the beauty of relationship, right? With religion, it's just you suck.
Yeah.
And there's no way to necessarily combat that. Like it's just sorry.
And I think that's so good. Like they helped us see what imperfect following looks like. Does that make sense? Like they never claimed to be perfect, but they had Pastor Tim and these people in their lives that had poured into them, and like these little things. And I remember, and I don't think Pastor G was the first one to say it, but before our marriage, I always had like the second glance thing where some hot girl would walk by, and the first glance, that's just like you happen to go that way, right? Like, oh wow, that girl's beautiful. But then like you can recognize somebody's beautiful and not have to stare at them, right? But I would always go like, they are beautiful. I wonder, like my brain would just go like, the first glance is not your fault, but the second one you can control. Like, are you going to look again? Like those little things that just turn you into like, are you perfect? No, but these phrases run back through your head over and over again, and really, it's about building relationship. And we had a really good relationship with them. We have
we
a really
still
yeah,
do,
yeah. But I'm saying in the beginning of our marriage,
right? It was
their
we were
relationship
with
helped
them a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brought change so quickly.
Yeah.
Because we were around them every week, and then the next year every month.
Yeah.
But then we started going to church together. Like we were starting to do life together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And that's the way it should be with Jesus. Like I think that's what, if I had to say like what's the biggest difference between who I knew Jesus was before and who Jesus is now, is that I go to church, right? But that's not where I spend time with Jesus, right? Like I go to sleep, I wake up, I go through like all the things, even in the mistakes, like Jesus, I can't believe, and not like, God, I can't believe, like you're actually in
Like
a relationship and you're
repenting.
talking to
like,
him
oh my
in the
gosh.
moment, right? and so many encounters with actually him speaking to and through us that's like, I'm so hungry for more of the relationship. But I think a hard part about it is when you see someone um, who knows what the words are, but has the words that are in the Bible without the relationship of Jesus. And I think that's, as a Christian, that's hard to encounter. And so even to say Christian, I'd rather say I'm a lover of Christ, which sounds so weird, right? Like, because in I heard it said this way, like, I don't just believe in God, I actually believe God. Like, the things that God's word says happen in my life, right? And so I don't know the verses probably like I should, but oh my gosh, I love the relationship I have with him.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
It is.
Okay, so what about thinking of in the first couple of years, our legacy change, if you will, because we both were making good money, right? And we both have pretty good careers, and then we start working together. I think another big shift in our relationship, and I didn't think this would be so much about Jesus, but it almost always is when we start talking. But I remember the time when it probably got about the hardest. And do you want to talk about the time that you were like, if this is what it's like to follow, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so when we got married, we had $200,000 in debt, not including our mortgage, buried, making good money, but just paying basically minimums on everything.
Yeah.
And then going through steps.
But we both quit our jobs. Right? Because we wanted out of that. We wanted out of that life, right? And so we started working with your dad, and there's like a lot of different things going on.
So many things happened, but it was the second year our income dropped by over $100,000. So we were like, okay, I guess we're not going to be able to pay this debt off. Like, that was the initial thought. And then we ended up paying it off.
But
it was
we were tithing.
Hard. I mean, it was hard. We were tithing, giving offerings, but if I'm being totally honest, to me, looking back, when I reflect, a lot of it was law-based. It was out of obligation. Like, this is what the heart posture was not correct.
Sure.
Right? And so we had hit this wall again. It just seemed like we were 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It was just constant.
It almost felt like we were investing in Tesla stock or Bitcoin. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a tithe was like, all right, if I put this much in, the word says I'm going to get 100-fold.
But we didn't understand
we
the
didn't
teaching.
understand what
we didn't understand. Like, tithing in the Bible does not say 30, 60, 100. It's not tied to that. Anyways, it's a whole other message. Whole other message. So we'd hit this wall. I honestly know I have it journaled somewhere. I just don't remember the exact scenario. But I remember standing up in the coffee room and looking at Matt and saying, like, if this is what it's like to follow Christ, like, I'm out, right? And
I was like, me too. This is enough. I mean, enough is enough.
Yeah.
We pour our whole life into it. We're giving everything to him. And this is what life is like. It can't be right. I'm out. This sucks.
Yep. And then next morning, I got up, had my coffee, and got back into the Word, right? And so it was definitely this, like, now I know, right? Like, opposition comes because now you're getting dangerous, right?
Yes.
Like, the devil is obviously picking up on, like, all right, they're starting to implement things that I know brings victory.
Yeah.
Right? And we're baby Christians walking around in diapers, right? Like, knew really nothing in the grand scheme of things, having to unlearn things, and then blending a family, like 2 exes, custody battles. I mean, we were so messy. Like, literally, by the grace of God, there is no other way. There's actually no other way this could have worked out the way it did without Jesus. Like, there's just no way. You could not have written this story. No psychic could have given this resolution, right? And so I think the point of that is you go through valleys, right? but we learned a long time ago, when you're in the valley, learn the lesson and get out quick.
Brother Charles.
Yep, Brother Charles. He's in heaven. Probably really enjoying.
I know he's enjoying.
He's enjoying.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to see his wife. Like, he is, oh my gosh, such a cool guy.
Yeah, love him.
But,
love him.
And so when we go through valleys now, because, I mean, we live in an imperfect world. Like, God does not throw things at us. Like, we are in a world that is completely fallen, and we have to know how to what is our default when problems come, right?
So, I mean, and backing up just a little bit to that story of saying, I'm out. Like, we both agreed, husband and wife, we're out,
Yeah.
right? We're done.
We are united.
We're united for the first time probably in heaven. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're fully united, and then you wake up and you drink your coffee and you read the word. And at the time, I wasn't waking up, drinking coffee and reading the word like I do now. But then I woke up the next morning. I was like, all right, Jesus, what are we going to do today? Like, it was like, I can imagine a story happening, right? And I know God and the devil don't hang out, right? Where they don't like, hey, let's see what happens, right? All those things, right? I'm not Job or something, right? But I can imagine that happening. And the devil's like, I got him. And then Jesus, like, just sitting there, like,
Just wait.
Because he knows our heart, right?
Yeah.
He knows, like, the disappointment and all of that, like, for us to realize that we're not using Jesus as a way to get rich quick or have some kind of easy life. Like, it is faith in him through all the things that brings fulfillment, right? Like, not like me counting on him just to love me, right? And then through that relationship of love, not the need for him, which I do need him. I do want his protection. I do want all those things, but just the pure love for him. And then, man, from really that moment, I'm not saying it was always perfect, but that moment of still picking him after we realized that it's not a lottery ticket and it's not an easy way through life. Yeah. But if you still pick him, you still have faith in him, even when you think he's not going to just put a Band-Aid on it and hit the easy button. Like, that's the thing that really helps draw out the rest of what the story is. Because getting to heaven, did you repent? Did you say you love Jesus? Did you accept him in your heart? You said it out loud? Like, those things, like, okay, cool. So, but now what? Like, what is your life going to be like while you're here? So it's not about being good or being bad or living perfect or imperfect. It's like, do you love him, and are you willing to put the things that he says into play in your life to then watch things happen? And man, oh man, have we watched things happen over the last
and that brings me to, we were at CBC, this was a few months ago, on a Wednesday night, and there were 3 different pastors who spoke, all 3 about 20-minute intervals, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of them said, what good is a breakthrough if no one behind us knows how to follow in it, right? And I think that's a lot of what our kids are taught and what we pour into them. Like, Holland was with me on the way to dropping off that closing gift, right? Mm-hmm. And we're on the way, and I'm like, okay, so this was a real estate transaction, closing a deal. Like, who am I in this transaction? Who is Alana? And at first she was like, I think you're the realtor. And I'm like, no, I'm not the realtor. And so, but like, going through things that weren't taught to us, like in basic knowledge, right? Like natural knowledge, but also spiritual knowledge, right? Like, we saw a turn in our lives when we devoted our lives to Christ, right? Like, you can look at the projections in different things and changes, but it like, our kids can see the changes very clearly. Mm-hmm. And we involve them in a lot of our giving. We don't hide. When we were going through financial issues, we did not hide that. We were very upfront about it.
Absolutely.
They had to, like, it was like, nope, we're going to Bahama Bucks and we're getting one thing and we all have to split it. Like, yep. And then they remember going to Bahama Bucks and all getting their own, right? I mean, you see the transition, right? The progress, right? And so if we're not talking about what we've been through and what he's redeemed us from, there are a lot of blended families, right? A lot of blended families who feel alone. Am I doing this right? I'm totally screwing this up, right? Like community in all of our different things that we've been through, essentially, right?
Yeah, and I think that it's a big part of why we wanted to come on here and talk to y'all, is because we see that God has done these amazing things for us, right? But if we just keep that inside and reflect on it to each other, but he didn't do this for us. He did that for you that's listening right now, to know that there is maybe somebody who's going through the things that you're going through right now, maybe with you, or they went a little bit before you or just behind you, but we should all be a part of helping to spread the goodness of things in life. The good, like, what is God doing? What is your husband? What is your wife? What is your family doing? What kind of traditions are y'all setting up? Like, who are you? What is your legacy going to be like going forward? And if you can stop and pay attention to those things, maybe jot them down, and maybe like you could be a part of your legacy, could be a part of what brings somebody else's legacy forward.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we think that this is going to be kind of fun. Like, so the idea is hope dealers. That's what Pastor G and Ro were to us before we really knew how to implement the relationship with Jesus in our life. And then like now my hope and prayer is like war room. Like people come along like, I'm sorry to ask you questions. I feel like no, I've been praying for you to watch this video so that the blessings God has shown us, we can help you see as well. And we're no one special, like other than the fact that we're Jesus people, right? Like we're just average people who are going to have probably average lives, right? We're probably going to do average things and then die. And then Jesus came along and is like, now something is different, and there's encouragement and like so much success, but not with money, right? Like that's been a part of it, but so much success with our family, like the things we see our kids do and how they encounter people and what they want to do and not do. Like those are things without us, we're on purpose about it, but not super on purpose. We don't like drive home, like make sure you go tell somebody about Jesus, you know, like those kind of things. But it's just like they get to see our experience and then they're changed. And we hope that through these conversations we're going to be having with y'all, there's maybe some change. And definitely, oh my gosh, if you'll be open enough to talk to us, to call us, to meet with us. I mean, it might be cool to get some other families' experiences of coming and meeting with us, right? And like how just a few meetings and things of just sharing our stories and one-on-ones with those families, and then the path trajectory it set them on. But we want to be available for you. We love the fact that we get to do this and what God's done in our lives. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be as vulnerable as possible just so that it really is like you look at us now, but most people are like, they don't necessarily know the full story.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you should have seen us.
And we're so amazing. We have everything perfect now. No, Dr.
No.
Charles is our personal counselor.
Yes.
Right? Our marriage counselor. We go in and we talk to him. He laughs at us a whole lot, right?
He does.
And then Gracie's our counselor at
For
work,
business,
right? And then Andrew's like, he kind of helps mom and dad, sometimes is the way he puts it. Like, don't fight anymore, right? Like, we have so many people who are counselors and mentors and just living everyday life with us. Like, I encourage you, whatever you're going through, don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yep.
All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode. And please come back, hang out with us again. Kicking it with the Cavs. Bye, y'all.